Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I want to answer some questions and verify a lot of stuff so people can understand, because I still get emails and stuff like that from people asking me certain questions and stuff like that, because they're still trying to understand, when it comes to these films and stuff, because about altering on one thing or another. Now, we got to take in consideration when you're analyzing films and stuff, the positions that the people were in when they was actually filming. Okay, so as you see behind me, there's on my monitor, there's a bunch of frames and stuff like that and images. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you about the Zapruder film, and then we have the Orville Nix film. As you see here, here's frames all the way to 122, from 001 to frame 122. Now, as I point out, when it comes to the JFK assassination, okay, the numbers on these frames are not the exact right numbers, because of the pure simple fact is they cut out the beginning parts of the end parts and stuff like that. They cut them out, and they also only showed part of the assassination, because the other parts they look at is it's not part of assassination. Assassination happened on Elm Street, so this is the only thing they show when it comes to viewing the JFK assassination. Same things we see in the Zapruder film. Now, a lot of people sit there and says, well, about frames taken out of the films, or films been altered one way or another. And as I point out, that these numbers on these frames are really not the exact numbers of the order these frames were in. They mark them this way because it only shows Elm Street. That's the reason why. Now I'm going to show you something. As I point out also in my videos and stuff, like the Zapruder film. Okay, you have side A and side B. On side A, there's a total of 500 frames. On side B, there's a total of 500 frames. Okay, for a total of 1,000 frames, and then there's 25 feet on one side, 25 feet on the other side, which would be a total of 50 feet. Now, on the beginning, on side A, Mr. Zapruder was filming his family and Mrs. Setzman and everything else like that. But a lot of people says, are you sure? Which was somebody made a comment, I'm not sure that these are there. Here's one of the frames before Mr. Zapruder started filming Elm Street. As you see, Mrs. Setzman talking to a couple on the bench. These are the ones we see in the other film that stands up. He's the one that stands up, looks out the side of the pillar there, which I showed that in my video as well. What he was looking at, she was on the ground. Mrs. Setzman was talking to the people. Mr. Zapruder filmed this as well. So this is on the beginning of the film before we even start seeing this frame here. Okay, they start with this 001 frame right here, but as I point out and as I just showed you, one of the frames of Mrs. Setzman talking to the couple on the other side of Pelagora there, okay, that was before this part of the film. Just like Mr. Zapruder's family and everything else is before this part of the film. But they're not going to show you that part and stuff like that, because Mr. Zapruder didn't want his family to be seen and stuff like that, and they don't even hardly show this one here, because they want people to see this part here, because it has nothing to do with the JFK assassination. That's why they only show this part here, which actually frame 001 through frame 132 has nothing to do with it either. But that's on side A, and that's when side A ended. Then Mr. Zapruder switched to film around and stuff, and then he started filming on that side. And that's where frame 133 comes into play. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I mean by that. As you see right here, if you watch my cursor, this is a copy of the original Orville Nix film. This is a copy of a copy of a copy of the Orville Nix film. This is one that people use, and this is what people shows. Now I'm going to show you the difference between both films. Okay, as you see here, which I'll point up, here is actually frame 0001 of the Orville Nix film. But when we look at the film today, what they show us, this is the first frame they show us, 0001 right here. But this is actually the original one right here. Excuse me. My allergies are kicking in bad today, because the weather's going up and everything else. Anyway, as you see here, here's both the same frames. When we look at the Orville Nix film, today, this is the frame we see at 0005. This is frame number 5 of the Orville Nix film. But actually, the original number on that film is 0193. But also, as y'all want to point out, and I'll show you between there, you can see the different colors between the original film and the copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of the film. And you see right here where you see more people right in this view right here, and you see less people right here because there's Mrs. Newman and there's Bill Newman there, and there's one of her children right here. Okay, but you don't see that much details in this frame here as you do this from here, because you can see the color of Mr. Zapruder's skin and Mrs. Setzman's skin and stuff. Here it's more dullish, greenish looking and everything else. So see, this is the big difference between both films right here. So you see the numbers on the films are different. Okay, there was frames taken out of the films, but it wasn't altered. Okay, but see, no one would sit down and explain to somebody or explain this kind of information to anybody, because if they sit down and explain this kind of information, that throws away their theory of a film being altered. So this is the reason why they don't go down and go in details and show anybody this and point this kind of stuff out. Because if they point this kind of stuff out, like I said, it's going to blow their case away if film is being altered. So they'll say, the film's been altered, that's it. They don't show you no evidence why a film has never been altered or anything else like that. But they go ahead and just tell us it's been altered. Now, a question came up, which I'm going to answer in this video here. A question came up about a lady right here could be seen in this film, which I'll pull up this frame right here, which could be seen in the Nix film. As soon as if it lets me open it up, here we go. As we see this lady right here, which is a good question, don't get me wrong, this is a good question. She can be seen in an Orville Nix film, but she can be seen in the Zapruder film, which will go back to the Zapruder film. And go to where the couple is at that she was talking about. We'll pull up this one right here. Now, like I said, good question. I'm going to answer it right now. As you see right here where the lady's at, right? Well, we see these couple right here. See the gentleman right here? That'd be just gentleman here. And then we have the other couple right over here, which you see the couple right here. That's this couple right here. Okay, there's the lady, and there's the man. There's the lady, there's the man. Here's the old lady. But we don't see this old lady in the Zapruder film. Now, here's the reason why we don't see her in the Zapruder film. As you see right here, JFK's limo is first now touching where the sign is, right here, as we see in the Orville Nix film. But like I said, you got to understand the position that these people were filming. Remember, Mr. Zapruder's over here on this side of Elm Street. Orville Nix is on this side of Elm Street, but up a little bit further on Main. He was mostly closer to Main Street as he was filming. So he's up at a different angle as Mr. Zapruder is filming from his angle. Now, as you see right here, Mr. Zapruder, in the Orville Nix film, we see the lady in there as they're reaching the sign. But as you see right here in the Zapruder film, they're not even to the sign yet. Okay, now we're going to go into where they get close to the sign, as you see here. Okay, now JFK's at the sign, as you see right here, which I'll even go back one. Right there's the corner of the sign. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to where he's at the corner of the sign. Right about here. Okay. Now, as you see here, we can't see the lady. Am I correct? But remember, she is now over this way from him. By the time JFK's limo reaches the sign, which you'll see her coming in to play, when the vehicle, excuse me, I got to sneeze. I told you my allergies. Bless me. I told you my allergies kicking bad today. But anyway, we see her now. But remember, by the time Mr. Zapruder starts getting the film over by the sign, as you see right here, as we're going past it like right here, okay, which we'll go past it right here. oops, that'll be the last frame right there because it don't go all the way to a certain frame. But by the time they get past it, they're not even, by the time they get to the sign and stuff from a different angle, like I said, they're already past them people. As you see here, look how far I got to go back. Even when we line up the people, see how they're right here? Okay, so when we line it up this frame, so we're going to say this frame is right about here. This will be frame 3, because they're right there, because the manhole cover is right over here. And that's where they're about to get to the manhole cover right here. So from this view, we're seeing them already pass the sign. From this view, it looks like they're past the sign. But as you see from this view, they're not even past the sign yet. Okay, so we're looking at this view here. Now, as you see, by the time this lady's coming in to play, as we see in the Leroy Nix film, which he's filming a different thing, they're already past that section. And this is the reason why he didn't capture this lady right here, because she's coming down Main Street. Well, here's Main Street, here's Elm Street. She's coming down this way. So by the time this is filmed right here, he's already past that section. By the time she comes into frame into the Nix film, he's already past that section. So when we're looking at the Orville Nix, when we're looking at the Zapruder film, we have to take this into consideration that this lady, okay, is coming in over here. So by the time Mr. Zapruder's filming from his location gets to over here, to where we start seeing these people here, that's when she's starting to come into frame in the Orville Nix film, as you see right here. You see? So Mr. Zapruder's already passed that section. So she was walking in the frame by the time he got down into this part right here. Because we can see she's actually walking. She's not staying still. Now then she starts going back the other way when we watch other films. So the reason why we don't see that lady is because he's already passed that section and she was coming to frame. That's the reason why we don't see that lady. That's why I said when people look at these films and they look at these images, they don't point this kind of stuff out. And when you get to a certain point, when you're watching the film, that's what I said, it's best when you time frame every frame and you line every frame up and stuff, so you know exactly the position that the people are filming and why you don't see certain things in certain films. Because your answer is always there. It's just you got to line it up. And once you line up, you're going to find out. Well, by the time you got to that lady there, Mr. Zapruder's already done filming that section right there, because at his angle, he's filming this way, and Orville Nix is filming this way. So he's what he's capturing, Mr. Nix is capturing, but he's also capturing a little more than Mr. Zapruder is, because Mr. Zapruder's concentrating on the whole car, which Orville Nix film, you're seeing the car and the whole surroundings. Remember, Mr. Zapruder was zoomed in on his camera. Orville Nix, he didn't have his camera zoomed in. He had it filming at normal view. Just like when I sit there and I point out like this. If we watch the films and images, like we see this little girl right here with the red dress. Remember, see her in the Zapruder film. We see her right here in the Bronson film. Here she is standing right here. But then as we go along and we watch the Zapruder film, now we see her over here. So she actually goes from like here, which I made this little map here. She's standing over here first, and then she runs along the motorcade, and she runs around here, and that's when she ends up right here. Okay? But she's also seen again over here, as if you'll see right here. Also in the films too, we see her again right here. She's jumping up right here. That's why she looks like she's a little bit taller, but she's not. She's jumping up, the same dress, same jacket, and you see the hoodie hanging down right here because she's got the hoodie off of her now. But she's right here. So she ends up, when we look at this, that's why I tell people how when you line up films and stuff, and when you see how short and small and confined Dealey Plaza it is, you can understand a lot more. When you're viewing the film, you're kind of like scratching your head. You're looking at maps, you're kind of scratching your head saying, geez, oh Pete, how can he be in this position, that position? But you see, during this few seconds of the assassination, this little girl's here, then she's over here, now she's back over here. Just like we see in this image right here as well. Okay, remember the gentleman and his son staying in front of the babushka lady? That's him right here. Watch my cursor, which I'll zoom in. Oops, we lost the image there for a moment. I'll zoom in. This guy right here, his son's over here. He's right here. This is the guy that's in front of the babushka lady. Now let me show you this. You see this image right here? Here's the babushka lady, right here. Now let me show you this. We're going back to the map now. As you see here, the babushka lady was over here at first. And as you notice, JFK's limo passed her. Then she ran around all the way over to here to get in this location here, same as this guy here. He was standing here, so him and the son ran around this way, and they're right here. And that's why she came up behind him. He came around in first and stuff, so they could see JFK twice. So when he's standing here, they see JFK's limo turns and stuff like that, so they start coming around this way. After JFK's limo passed this certain section right here, the bush lady starts running around, and she gets in this position right behind him. Okay, this is the reason why we're seeing these people in different locations real quick, and people looks at it and go, well, hey, wait a minute. How can this person be over here, but then they're over here this quick? Okay, like I said, Dealey Plaza is a confined little spot. It don't take long. You can walk in a matter of mere seconds. You know, I had somebody walk from this part to this part here, and it took exactly like a minute, probably about a minute and 15 seconds. I think we got written down, marked down. Minute 15 seconds for just somebody to walk right from here to here. And that's that casual walk. That's that slow walk. Now, if you're running, seconds, mere seconds, less than a minute to go from this part here to this part here if you're running. But like I said, it's very confined. But like I said, it all depends on what location that the people are filming in at the time. That's why some people are capturing some things and some people are capturing other things. Just like when we sit there and look at this right here, people says, well, here's that lady right here. She's walking away, and you watch the film. And this is supposedly Jack Ruby behind her, which is not Jack Ruby, because this guy's a little bit taller than Jack Ruby, and he's a little bit more heavier than Jack Ruby as well. Okay, and he has a hat on, but it's not the same kind of exact hat as Jack Ruby wore, because Jack Ruby's head was a small thing. Okay, because I seen his hats. I couldn't even put his hat on my head because it's real small. This guy here is a lot larger. So that's not actually Jack Ruby. There's that old lady right here. But like I said, when we're looking at films, we're looking at images and stuff, we have to concentrate, we have to study on where these people are at in these certain locations, who was filming here, because this is the lady here that the one lady was bringing up, which is, like I said, is a good question. This is the lady here, but we see her in the Nix film right here. Okay, and that's why I said, you know, it was really confined into a location, because we see her in this film here. She's already walking back up the road, okay, back up Main Street there. She's walking back up as everybody else is still running down there, because by the time she got here, and this is what people understand, by the time she got right back here, JFK's limo's already just went on the triple underpass. So by the time she got to this location here, she just went from here to this location within a matter of mere seconds before JFK's limo actually completely goes underneath the triple overpass. I mean, that overpass there. So see, that's how fast and how short this place is. So this is how she can get from this location to this location. Like I said, when we watched the Zapruder film, the reason why we don't see this lady in the Zapruder film is because as she was walking in by the side of Main Street there, by the time Mr. Zapruder gets to a location to where these people he's filming right here, as you see right here, okay, this lady's actually walking down Main Street. Well, with Oral Nix being on that side, he can capture her in it because he's already passed her. So that's why Mr. Zapruder is not. That's why he's not. Excuse me, not seen. I'm about to sneeze again. I'm trying to hold it back. This is why she's not seen in Zapruder film, because he's already past that point, because she's coming in the frame. She's approximately in the frame right about here. By the time he's filming this right here, as we see in the next film, we start putting in time frame. Okay, she's already over here, but remember, he zoomed in on the limo. So all this back here, he's not even capturing, just like we see over here. And we go back, okay, I want to show you this. Orville Nix, when he was filming, okay, Orville Nix is right over here. Okay, he's filming the JFK assassination right here. This is approximately where Orville Nix was at, right here. He's in this location right here as he's filming. Okay, he's filming this side of the street, and then Mr. Zapruder's filming the other side of the street. So we got Orville Nix right in this location here as he's filming this lady here. And see how Orville Nix has already passed there, but he's picking up even Main Street, because when you watch the Orville Nix film, you see that when he gets to a certain point, okay, I will say right here, you see he's starting to film. You can see in his frame view, you can start seeing part of Main Street, as you see right here. You see Main Street and Elm Street, Main Street and Elm Street. Okay, you're seeing all of that. And then when he gets down here where this lady's coming in the frame, remember, here's Main Street, here's Elm Street. But when we go view the Zapruder film now, all right, he goes along, he clips in very little bit of Main Street, because you don't even see Main Street mostly in the Zapruder film. Okay, we see a part of it right here by frame 369. And then it goes out, and then it comes back up again right around here, which is 380. Then we start seeing Elm Street and Main Street. And remember, in the Orville Nix film, we're already seeing Main Street and Elm Street. When he's capturing that lady, this is the reason why we're not even seeing her in the Zapruder film, because by the time she comes into frames into the Orville Nix film, Mr. Zapruder's already done filming that section of the road, so he's already down Elm Street, as he's still between because he's more closer on Main Street as he's filming, as I point out. So this is the reason why we only see certain things in the Zapruder film and certain things in Orville Nix film, but we don't see, like certain people, because Mr. Zapruder is actually filming closer and zoomed in. I hope this answers some of the people's questions and stuff like that. Like I said, there's a lot of things, and the only way you can go into answering every question is you have to go in detail, okay? And you have to go in more depth, and it takes hours after hours after hours to actually go in depth, especially into a case like this, because you're talking about one film, then you got another film, you got a dozen films you got to go over and you got to talk about. You got hundreds of images you got to go over and talk about. Then you got people's stories you got to go over. So see, it takes a long time. I mean, if they made a TV show on it, they'll probably have to have 10 seasons, 10 to 15 seasons just to cover everything. And you know how the seasons are long anyway. So I just want to make this video here, give out some more information and stuff, and explain a lot more, and show people, when you're looking at something, okay, you got to take into consideration that it's a small confined place. When you're looking at something, you got to take consideration of the angle where they're filming from. Okay, you're going to some person's going to capture something, some person is going to capture nothing. Other things. Okay, it all depends where they're filming from. So that's what we have to also take into consideration as well. Just like we see this Zapruder film captures this girl, we have the Bronson film that captures this girl, and we have the Bell film that captures this girl, same girl, okay? But as we see, she's in different locations. So like I said, it all depends when they're filming, what time they're filming, what location and stuff. Because like I said, when you look at the JFK assassination, okay, there's 400, remember, there's 486 frames. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to take the way to 132, because remember, frame 001 to frame 132 just shows Elm Street, but it doesn't show any of the assassination. So that leaves us 354 frames. 354 frames of the Zapruder film that we're viewing. But when we go over to Orville Nix film, we're viewing assassination, we only have 122 frames. So you see what I'm saying? We got 122 frames in the Orville Nix film that we're viewing. But when we're looking at the Zapruder film, we have 354 frames we're viewing. So I just want to make this, looks like my backdrop just fell down. I just want to make this video and stuff like that. Always in the description down below, you find a site where you can own my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, on the book you ever need, JFK Assassination. And the site's still up for donations to take us up till July 10th. If you want to make a contribution or a donation to the documentary, remember, $30 more, you'll get your name in the credits, and you'll get a free copy of the DVD when it's done, which I've been doing a lot of filming because I'm trying to get it done as soon as possible. But it's still, I'm waiting on, I still got to get the ballistic testing done and stuff like that, which I'm definitely going to have in that documentary because it's a must. It's got to be in there. And plus, I got some more files that someone's viewing tomorrow overseas that they're going to tell me about and stuff like that, which I'm getting help from that person. But they did verify that there was 5 gunmen there and 3 of the locations, which what I found in my research. So that was verified. So don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Share this video on your social medias and stuff. You know, share my other videos on social medias and everything else. Thank you, and you all have a pleasant day.